Alright, hi everybody, it's Bonkai922. Still waiting. Tonight. Oh shit. I already saw, and this is gonna be the fairy tale chapter video, just to mention. Just saw Fighting for Nippon. This guy lives in Australia, so he already did his first impressions of Attack on Titan. And I have only to say this, you son of a bitch! But anyway, that's something else. Moving on. This chapter of Fairy Tale I'm going to review. Jota was pissed off about this chapter. And I was wondering, I was confused. I was like, holy shit, he was saying something about One Piece. I was like, what does he mean by that? So he says, oh yeah, copy and paste when I was in the live stream with the, Otaku Battle Dome. And I didn't understand what he meant. But then I was in McWhirlpool's live stream when it was offline. And he explained. Not McWhirlpool, Sammy Sal. He said because of Natsu's fight. And basically the reasoning being was during Natsu's fight with Rogue, evil Rogue, future Rogue, you want to call him, he got pulled into the shadows. And I was like, oh, I was saying to myself. Because then I realized what he meant. It's like with Blackbeard. But I'm disagreeing. That's right, I'm disagreeing. To a certain extent. It is, but you have to understand something. Blackbeard's power and Rogue's power are different. Blackbeard's power is gravity, more or less. While Rogue's power is shadows, to a certain extent. But it does the same thing in a way. But nevertheless, that's the whole thing that was going on. Now, this is chapter, like I said, 326 of Fairy Tale. This one is called Natsu versus Rogue. This one, let's give it up. Natsu lost! Yay! Not only did Natsu lose, but, like I just told you, he's getting pulled into the shadows. I was like, you're going to the Shadow Realm. Playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Going to the Shadow Realm. That's right. We're pulling off a Yu-Gi-Oh! Here. And that's probably why Jota got even more pissed off. But yeah, let's get into the summary. Nothing really, beginning parts, really nothing happened. It was just the gang, Lucy, and everyone else there in front of the gates. We got Gajil and Levi saying, he's saying how, it was 7 years ago that was the dragons disappeared, and they, when the herd of dragons are supposed to appear. It's the same day. And everyone's just talking about, everyone's healed and everything. Nothing really going on. Just more or less BS. Just bullshit talk. And the moon is eclipsed. The sun is in eclipse, and we see Lucy in front of the gate as it's opening. And then we go to Natsu's fight with Rogue. This fight was so ridiculous because during the fight, Rogue told Natsu that he killed Sting. And I was like, what? But then the manga stream translation was whole lot better than the manga here. And it said, but not until later. In this timeline, he was saying, not until later do I do that. So, something happens with this, but, it wasn't explained. But basically, they're fighting, and they're just talking about Lucy, saying that possibly does that exist, that she will do it along the line. She will prevent the door from opening, and Natsu's like, yeah, she won't do that. She would have robbed me with the future. And Rogue's saying, you're in my way. He blasts him with the shadows, and he's saying, I'm going to make sure Lucy has her final breath. Last breath. And he says, over my dead body. Lightning flame dragon mode. You know the story. And it goes, a lot of explosions. And Rogue says, oh, this is what you had back in your pocket 7 years ago. And then he goes, White Shadow Dragon mode. And he's saying he can wield the powers of the white, of the shadows and the light. And he does White Shadow Dragon's Course Silk. And he attacks Natsu with it, and he gets hit, and this kind of hurts Natsu to a certain extent. And then he's saying that White Shadow Dragon was, yes, it was Sting's power until I killed him. And he says, I don't do that until sometime in this timeline. And then Natsu says, were you always a heartless son of a bitch? Of course. And this heartless son of a bitch is going to take your wife as well. White Shadow Dragons. And then he is interrupted by Altair! I was like, oh man, Altair, why did you have to do that? Come on, don't do that. But yeah, she interrupts him and stops it. And I'm guessing, I don't think this was the favor, because remember we were from last week's chapter, Jiao was asking a favor from Laharl and the other one, Dolbolt. And we don't know what the favor was, but I don't think that's what this was. So Altair shows up, she helps Natsu, and then Meridy's saying, oh, he ran away, and then I think it's Altair saying, Natsu, pull yourself together, and they say we need to do first aid immediately, and she's saying, this can't be, Natsu, he's being enveloped by the shadows. And he's saying he's being enveloped by the shadows. And just when that happens, we then, after that, go straight back to Lucy and the gang. Lucy staying in front of the gate. So, that was the part that obviously Joe 10 didn't like, because he felt that Hero was copying and pasting. Because it's just like with Blackbeard. Now, that's true in some sense, I would say. But I'm not 100% sure, and maybe people can enlighten me on this, but if I'm correct on this, isn't Blackbeard's power gravity? Rogue's power is shadows. That's not the same thing. But, at least to say, it's the same effect, and that's what pissed off Joten. And I understand, yes, I understand it is kind of upsetting to see the Hero do this. But regardless, I'm still giving this a 4 out of 5, people. Natsu lost! Come on! That is epic! It is great. He lost and he's hurt. He's down on the ground. He's getting absorbed by the shadows. You can't be but happy about that shit. So, yeah, that was awesome. The rest of the chapter, ice cream truck. The humanity's salvation within our grasp is upon us. The gate is opening and, and we see the cats, and Pantherlu's saying that power is that magic power, that dense, concentrated, is such an infinite space. And then Wendy's saying, now our future doesn't seem so bleak, and Lucy says, yep. And Wendy's saying, oh, Lucy will finally be able to rest in peace. And then she walks towards the gate, Lucy, and says, no, this door must remain closed. I shall seal the doors at once. And it says, does Lucy truly intend to seal the fate of all mankind? 327, now it's my responsibility. By the way that she looks, Lucy, in that scene, it seems like she's possessed. I honestly believe that. She looked very possessive. Almost as if someone is making her do this. And, this was a pretty short chapter, and even though Joe 10's pissed off about the whole copying of thing with Rogue and Blackbeard, copying of One Piece. That's true, but at the end of the day, Natsu lost. And it looks like he might die, too. That's even a bonus. For me, anyway. And that's awesome. I mean, will he die? I guess some people don't want to see him die, but he lost. That's awesome. He lost to evil Rogue. That's future Rogue, I should say. Call him evil. That's awesome. Now, I personally believe Lucy, I think what the story is that she got possessed by something. Because the way her eyes look, it looks like, and I'll show it, this is going to be the thumbnail probably. You look at her eyes and they're glazed over. They're really glazed over. They don't look they look like someone's possessed her, and she's doing this by another means. It could be rather that, or she knows something that everyone else doesn't know. Now, maybe what it is when they think, oh, the dragons are coming to destroy us. No, the dragons are coming to destroy us through the gate. But we don't know. We don't know. It's like, you don't know this. You have to wait and see. But overall, 4 out of 5, Natsu lost. I mean, I'm just happy about that. This is great. He lost. That's awesome. That's awesome. I love that shit. But I agree with Joe 10. I agree with him. It is copying. Yeah, regardless, it is. That's the same shit that Blackbeard does in One Piece with his power. Zay ha 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 ha. He brings people down. He puts them into that black abyss. That's what he does. And they're doing the same thing here. Now, how he could have originated a different way of doing it, Hero, I don't know. But that's basically the story. He copy and paste. I agree with Joten. But at the same time, I'm disagreeing because I'm still giving this a big chapter. I'm still giving this a big rating because Natsu lost! And he's more or less seems like he's going to be dragged into the shadows, which is even greater. Maybe he'll get he'll fight something in those shadows and around that kind of thing. We have to wait and see, though. But next chapter, I think, is going to be something else. Because if it says, now it's my responsibility, I don't know. That could mean Rogue. That could mean Lucy doing something. Who knows? We have to wait and see for next week. But, this was a good chapter to a certain extent. And yeah, I'm giddy. Natsu lost. He lost. He lost to Future Rogue. When Future Rogue went White Shadow Dragon mode. That was awesome. I love that shit. I don't like Rogue as a character because he's an evil son of a bitch, but still. Natsu lost. That was awesome. Awesome. But Kenichi chapter, I have this to say. It's still better than Fairy Tail chapter. I will do that review after this. People, the Kenichi chapter was fucking huge. But, yeah, and that's all I got for you guys. So, yeah, this is Bankai 922. Good chapter of Fairy Tail. Natsu lost. Yay! We'll see what Lucy's gonna do. This is pretty interesting. It seems like she's possessed. Either that or she knows something. She knows something. She knows something that no one else knows. Those are my two options as far as that's concerned. So yeah, this has been Bankai 922. I'll see you guys later. Natsu lost! Fucking A! Yes! He lost that motherfucker! And he's getting dragged into the Shadow Realm! Yeah! See ya.